troubleshooting, guys, is pretty. I think Grasshopper does a good job of assisting you in troubleshooting, um, because the first thing is it basically tells you everything that's wrong. So if you have something that's broken, you can visually see and trace where information is not flowing. You know, it's kind of like if there's a blockage in a river, you can just kind of follow the river back to where the blockage is to clear it. Okay, so that's just a very excruciatingly simple metaphor for that. But if you're looking at something like this, right, you've got a bunch of errors. The first and easiest thing that I do is go all the way back to the beginning of the string and see what the error is. In this case, I'm missing a connection for the amplitude. But if it's not so clear, or in this case, right, you have an error that traces back, and it gives you one that seems to be working, right? So you have, both inputs on this seem to be working. So I have no idea why it should be broken, right? Theoretically, by looking at it. So if I trace, orange, 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 that part's easy. I don't have to read those to know that the problem is somewhere to the left of each of those inputs. But I go back to this one, which should, in my opinion, be working, and I read it. And it says, solution exception, index was out of range, must be something, parameter, index. It doesn't really matter what the error is. All it tells you right now is that you've got a problem. It's not giving you what you need. So read the information that is available to you, and there's a lot of information available to you. So when I read a red tag, first thing I do is I go to the output, I read what the output is reading, and it says empty brep parameter. So that means there's a problem on the input because it can't process to give me a brep output. So obviously it's not the O because I'm not giving anything to the O, but the curves, right? So I read through curves, and it says two values, null and a line like curve. So that tells me one of those inputs is null. So I keep tracing it back. I read this one. Am I getting a line? Yes, I'm getting a line. So that one is not problematic. So I go back to this one, rotation, and it says geometry. One locally defined value as null. So it's not reading the geometry for the other part. So I keep tracing that back, and I see, oh, look, this one's orange. And it tells me input parameter T failed to collect data. And it keeps going back, and this one is actually very cleverly tracing it back for me. So then I see, oh, whoops, I accidentally deleted my vector connection. So I had it, or I just deleted it. But there it is right there. I can add it back in, and now you can see that it's actually fixed. So the other thing that it sometimes does, and I don't know how to recreate it because I'm not exactly sure all of the rule sets for when this occurs, but sometimes it will give you it will not regenerate the geometry even though the definition has been refixed. So if you do something like that and all signs are pointing to like, oh, well, I put in exactly what I'm like 99% sure I have to put in, and it's not giving you the geometry, then you should right-click in the workspace and go to recompute. Okay, recompute will basically take the broken information that wasn't flowing that you fixed, and for some reason it's not computing anymore. You just set it to recompute, and it will regenerate the definition, and it'll try to solve it for you again. The guidance I cannot give you is I don't exactly know yet when and where that particular occasion occurs. Okay, but it does. Just giving that to you. Any questions about that?